What's up, Giants fans, Hub watchers, YouTube? Well, I don't really upload on Rumble anymore, but YouTube subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers. How y'all doing? This Kush back at it again with another episode of the Just Chillin podcast call-in show. We'll be dropping the link for everybody very, very soon. Before I get into tonight's show, definitely want to take a moment to just sort of acknowledge what happened last night. I see Mike sent a members chat here that we'll get in a second with Damar Hamlin. Um, Obviously, it was a very scary situation last night. I didn't even actually knew it happened because I wasn't watching the game. I was at the gym and then I came home and hopped in the shower and then I hopped on Twitter. I was completely unaware that he essentially just sort of dropped on the field and they had to resuscitate Damar. Man, and it was really interesting to see so many different reactions on Twitter because you had a good amount of people. I'm happy to say like 99% of the football community came together and they were wishing nothing but the best for Damar and his family. Prayers for Damar and his family and T Higgins too, for that matter, because T Higgins was the one that collided with him, but he in no way, shape, or form should feel any sort of responsibility um upon himself or blame upon himself. And of course, there's a couple stupid people out there that tried to blame T Higgins. Um, so just start off the show by saying it's incredible that we got some good news today. I'm pretty sure that um, he's not in the condition he was yesterday. Last time I checked, he still had to have a breathing tube put in his throat so that he could be in stable condition, but it seems to be getting better. Um, Not much I can say other than the NFL really has to rethink player safety and even before the Damar Hamlin situation, I feel like all football fans knew that player safety in the NFL was more of a phrase than an actual effort by the organization to actually protect its players. You look at stuff like with concussions and Tua Tagovailoa, which I'm pretty sure as a topic has come up a couple times on this very podcast, where a lot of people, including myself, believe that Tua should retire. So I I would still say it's a player safety thing on the fact that the NFL actually wanted to carry on this game, and then because you're talking about the safety and of the mentality of the rest of the players as well. I know this is a freak accident. I know this doesn't happen. Um, but they really want to continue with that game, and that's not safe for the mental health of everybody else on those teams. Yeah, there was a couple stupid people out there. Skip, then I think it was Boston Scott today that tried to blame T Higgins, and it was just, for the most part, it was positive response. I was happy to see that. I'm happy to see that Hamlin's toy fund has been ran up to a couple $1 million. So we'll see what happens there. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat, but I do have a member in the back. And to kind of steer things, really difficult to steer things from that to a more lively and positive. But we do have lively and positive stuff to talk about today, and it's the fact that the Giants clinched a playoff berth for the first time since 2016, for the first time in 6 years, in 5 seasons. Last time the Giants were in the playoffs, we had Eli Manning at quarterback, we had Odell Beckham on this team, we had Rashad Jennings at running back. Our best defensive player was probably Landon Collins because he should have been defensive player of the year in 2016, but of course JPP is right behind him. So many things have changed. I was in high school. I was like a sophomore in high school. Now I'm about to graduate college. Like it's incredible how long it's been. So let's talk about that. First up is the first member of the day, Bobby. What's up, man? How you
How
doing?
you doing? Nice seeing you. I haven't seen you for a while.
What's up? How you doing, man? Last time you saw us, we weren't in the playoffs. Now we are in the playoffs.
No, me and Lou from the other channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and him predicted the playoffs this year.
Yeah,
So-
there was a good amount of optimistic fans. Scorpio Emperor King, he hasn't popped on in a minute, but he was somebody else I know that had the Giants in the playoffs all the way back in like draft area.
Yeah,
So
because we have a better offensive line, we have a better coach, we have a better defense now. So
I think coaching is definitely the biggest thing there. Yeah.
playing like when we go to the playoffs, who are we playing? Minnesota or
Right now, we're scheduled to be against Minnesota. I don't know if that's gonna hold because I think it's gonna be either Minnesota or San Francisco. It's gonna be one of those two teams, is what I think it is.
I think we have a shot to beat both of them.
I think for sure We can beat Minnesota. We just faced them a couple weeks ago,
Yeah,
and
and we
we're
just
healthier
signed
now.
field
And
goal.
yeah, we could have beat them then, and I think we're a better team now than we were a couple weeks ago.
Isn't that funny? It was like Graham Grinnell. Remember when he was on the Panthers? It was the same kind of play. Remember?
I think it was the same length too, 61.
Yes, 61. Yes, yes. That was the craziest part. So,
Hmm.
do you see when the Minnesota Vikings came back from that? They were losing 33-0.
Oh, wait a minute. Give me a second, Bob. I forgot to do one important thing
Oh
tonight. It
yeah,
was shout out everybody in the chat. Yo, shout out to Yuvra. Shout out to NYG Empire, Sober Party, Afghanistan, Super Taj, Arjun, Luan, Nate, Josh. I'm scrolling down here. Nelson, Flex, Camel. What up, everybody? How you doing? My real name is Kush Nelson. I saw that. That was the week
Kush.
before, right?
Your
Hmm?
real name is Kush.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. That was the no. I'm not kidding. I knew that.
But
No.
yeah, that was the week before when they you
Yeah,
talking about when the Colts with
yeah.
the Colts game with the Vikings? Yeah.
Guess who was the Colts quarterback then?
Hmm.
Who was the quarterback for the Colts that game?
Was it Foles or was it Ryan? I actually don't
Ryan.
know.
It was Ryan. Okay, remember? Okay, so he has the lead 33-0, right?
Hmm.
So then the defense blew for him. Okay, do you remember during the Super Bowl when he was on the Falcons?
Yeah, Matt Ryan has a history of blowing leads, though.
No, 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 no. You cannot blame him.
It
It was
goes all the way back to his rookie year.
no, no, no. You had to blame the defense on that Super Bowl, not him.
No, no, I'm not saying just for the Super Bowl. I'm saying throughout his entire career, he's
Yeah,
always been
but
involved in blowing leads.
yeah, but isn't it interesting how it happened in the playoff, the winning game in the Super? It was crazy that day.
I mean, the Super Bowl, yes, but I'm talking with Matt Ryan, his
Yeah,
entire career. His
I still
entire
like that.
career.
Yeah, he's from Boston College. So
I
do
think
you
he's
go to the
overrated.
game? Do you go to the game on Sunday?
What, the one in Philadelphia? No, I'm not
Giants.
trying to get.
No, not that one. This one we beat the Colts. Do you go to that game?
Oh no, I didn't get a chance to go to it. Shout out to Nikki, the longest tenured member. I appreciate it. She
I
was
went.
with for 28 months. Wow, that's over 2 years.
Yeah,
That's
too
close to
much.
3 years.
How's Kid Blue? You
Jesus.
talked to him lately?
Yeah, yeah. We should be doing the show tomorrow. I just want to read this real quick. She says, "Playoff bound. Let's go." And prayers up to Hamlin. Agree with both of those.
Yeah, I feel
Um,
bad for the guy.
yeah. Didn't have a chance to go to the Colts game.
Yeah.
But if we somehow get any type of home playoff game, I don't know if there's a scenario in which that happens. I guess we'd have to play somebody below us, which would only be the
Oh,
seventh seed.
remember what happened when we went to the Super Bowl? It did
Which
happen.
one? Which one?
I think it's the first one that happened. We got a
No,
home.
I don't think we ever had a home playoff. We had a home playoff game in 2011, but that was
Oh,
because I think we won the division in 2011.
yeah.
I want to say, like, we're the sixth seed right now, so the only way we get a home playoff game is if we play the seventh seed, which
Right.
has yet to be decided.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, we have to. I think we have a shot. Both of them in San Francisco.
Yeah.
I'm not worrying about that team. And I'm not.
I so somebody pointed out that San Fran's playing the Cardinals, and the only way we face them is if they lose to the Cardinals. So I agree with you. I'm agree with them off bat there. I'm gonna say we face Minnesota, which I'm happy about. I think
I think
that
we
that's a
can.
rematch that the Giants want.
I don't think we. I think we had him. We had him. Except the
That's what I'm saying. That I'm happy about facing Minnesota because that's a rematch that this team wants. They're
how did we
healthier.
keep that other guy in Minnesota? We didn't keep him to pretty short yardage.
Who
Jefferson, right? We did pretty good on keeping him, right?
for his standards, yeah, for his
Did we
standards.
play double on him or what? That
I
game?
don't, I have no idea. I was watching that game. It was Christmas Day. I was kind
Yeah,
of like,
Christmas
no, it
Eve.
was Christmas Eve. Christmas
Yeah,
Eve. I
Christmas
wasn't
Eve.
really paying too much attention to that. I was more like, it was, in the Christmas mood with
You ever
eggnog and
watching
stuff.
a Giant game? Oh my God! Oh,
No, I said I was watching the game. I said I wasn't watching
yeah,
it
but
like that.
I thought
I
you.
wasn't I wasn't watching it to analyze. I was watching it with eggnog in my hand and food.
Oh, you
You know
had
what I
the
mean?
spite. Was it spite too?
Yeah, that's why.
You know what? Hey, what about you do with New Year's Eve? You did that too? I like eggnog.
Well, not eggnog, just
I
without the eggnog.
I just what you call it? I don't drink anymore since my daughter was born. She's
Mhm.
16 now. You believe that?
Amazing.
And you graduate college this year?
Should be, yeah.
Not not St. John's, are you?
Nah, no, not St. John's. St. John's is way too expensive.
Yeah, I live right down the road from them. You must go with Queens. You're in Queens College.
Nah, I go to Hunter College. It's in Manhattan.
Oh, I know where that is. Oh, Hunter. Okay. Yeah, so
Mhm.
you like it? What are you going for? Computers?
It's good. Computer science right now.
Oh, that's good. You're smart.
It's really, really tough.
Yeah, I know, but I know you're smart. You do it.
Thanks.
You're my
So,
parent.
I was gonna ask you, how'd
What?
you like the Landon Collins pick six?
Oh, that was awesome. I was excited when I saw that. Yeah, that was a surprise. You know
Mm-hmm.
who doesn't really like him? I don't think he used to hate him. Bad Dog.
Ah,
He did not like Landon Collins. He says, "Thank God he went to Washington."
yeah.
So I got a question for you, if you know.
Mm-hmm.
So the game is canceled, right? They don't have to play the game. So how are they going to mark it in the thing?
It's a good question. I think I saw somebody in the chat brought it up.
Yeah,
Um, they said they won't resume it this week. So
yeah,
there's only two things that come to my mind, which is either they give each team a tie or they just don't do it and they go off a win percentage. So I
yeah.
don't know which one they're
Because
gonna do.
yeah, it's going to screw up the standings. Because aren't they both hunted for first place to go?
I don't know. I don't know the AFC stands like that. I wouldn't be surprised because both of them, Cincinnati and the Bills, yeah, they're up
Yeah,
there.
Cincinnati could win their division, I think.
Because I saw something that said they won't resume it this week. So
Uh,
if they don't resume it this week, I don't know when they would resume it because
no, they can't play two
I have no
games
idea.
in 5 days, 3 days.
Yeah.
They're already playing this week coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a great complete game for the Giants.
Yeah.
Beat all. My prediction was 21-0.
Let me get there's a question from the chat here from Flex. He says, "Do you think Shep will be back with us? Because I think he will be. Hopefully, my guy gets back
No,
and claim the number one receiver." Well, Shep says he wants to be back. If he's back, he's not going to be the number one receiver, though. I am like almost positive that we're going to take a wide receiver somewhere in this year's draft high.
you think
Uh,
you get a free
but
agent?
Nah, I don't know. I don't think we could afford to take free agent because
Yeah, because we got
even
no.
before the Colts game was played, the
Yeah,
reports were saying that they plan to extend Jones and Saquon, and then
yeah.
Daniel went and had a great game. And of course, I think it's a no-brainer that Saquon's going to be back as well.
Oh
So
yeah, I'm glad that
I don't
both.
think we're going to have that money.
Is he tagged though, Barkley?
Neither of them are on anything. They're complete
Who do you
unrestricted
think
free
they're gonna
agents.
tag?
That's a good question. But I will say this: I don't think Daniel Jones will get anything more in terms of a contract than the tag, which is around 35 million. I want to say.
Right. No, I think
So
he's
I don't think he's getting above that, and I definitely want to see how the chat and other callers react tonight when I say that if Daniel Jones costs more than 35 million a year,
yeah,
I'm not too keen on bringing him back because that gets really expensive. Like,
yeah.
and I know people are gonna get up in arms because a lot of people love him. They love to defend the guy. You know, it's always an extreme conversation when it comes to Daniel Jones.
Well,
You
then
know, like
take a
we need to
life
stick in the middle.
contract. Maybe he'll take a life contract too.
Mm.
Brady did that a lot, right? Take less contract.
But Daniel, well, Brady is one of a kind. We
Yeah.
got to remember that. You know, he's
Oh, I
Brady.
know he's the best. He's the best. I know that. But I'm
Yeah, but
saying,
I'll say this. I think we should get the idea of Daniel taking like some type of deal out of our heads because there's gonna be another team that offers him a good
right?
contract.
Yeah, that might be the trick. I think you're right. But we
Yeah,
better sign him.
we got him. There's a couple of quarterback needy teams this year, so there's gonna be
Yeah,
another
the
team that tries to sign
Raiders,
him.
Denver,
The Saints,
the Saints.
the
Yes.
Colts, the team we just beat.
Yeah, the Colts definitely. Yeah.
Um, Yo, this might be unpopular opinion. I maybe the Cardinals if they move on from Cliff. I don't know if they could move on from Kyler somehow.
Yeah.
The Falcons.
Yeah.
Like there's some teams out there. Maybe the Titans. You know.
But I think the Giants are gonna resign him.
Yeah. But Bobby, let me get your last question. Then I'll have
Who's
to
coming
pop on
on
the next
next?
caller.
Who's coming
It
on?
is Mike Nixon, the next member, and then we'll get to the callers.
Can I say hi to him before I leave?
For sure. Mike, what's up, man?
Dixon, how you doing, my pal?
What's up, Hub? What's up, Bobby?
Are you happy
What up,
with?
man? How you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm still kind of shook by
Yeah,
from the Damar incident last
yeah.
night.
It was hard to
Hmm.
get over that. It's sad for me.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was in tears last night
Oh, I was too. Well, this morning I was because I woke up went to bed.
because at this point
Yeah,
it's bigger than football. At
I
this point
definitely
now,
agree with you. Yes, I hope he's okay.
but from what I heard, what they're possibly planning on doing about the
Hmm.
resumption of the Bills and Bengals game.
Yeah.
They're thinking about like pushing the season back a week.
So
So
that so technically, while everybody gets a bye, then in that sense, right?
Yeah,
yeah, but
you have to.
just so they can resume, just so that they can resume that game,
Continue the
and
game, right?
week 18 will be the next week, and then the week after will be wild card.
Well, that sounds good. That I go with that. Me too.
But
I don't know. There's a whole lot of logistics that go into it.
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely the scheduling. Okay, so should I make my prediction before I leave?
Yeah, go ahead.
Mike, you're awesome.
thank you, Bobby.
I haven't seen you in a long time. Okay, my prediction this week is going to be 24-17.
Giants win.
Yes, definitely.
Got you, Bobby. Love the optimism. I would love to. I would love to go in with a hot streak into the playoffs.
Yeah, me too. I think he's not benching anyone, he said. He's like,
And then the next day he said he's not sure. So with Brian Dable, I'll
no,
always say we don't know.
he's going to be like a Coughlin guy.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say I don't know because I really don't know.
I think he's going to play him. I think like Coughlin, remember? When we didn't bench against the Patriots, then we beat them in the.
I know. I'm not saying that it's not a possibility. I'm just saying I don't know.
I don't know.
I just yeah.
All right, so nice talking. You got to be on tomorrow with Kid Blue.
Yes, I will. We'll be
You
right
don't
here on
have
this channel.
anybody on that show, right?
Nah, that's just me and Kid Blue.
Why you don't have anybody on that team? I'd like to talk to
Because
you.
because this is the call-in show, right? You got to ask KB when he would do a call-in show on his
Yeah,
channel
I
if
like
you
him.
want to talk to
He's
him.
funny, isn't he? Like
Yeah,
you.
he could be occasionally
Well,
funny.
you guys are awesome. You do a good job.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, we'll talk to you later. Bye, Mike.
See you,
See ya,
Bobby. Have a good
Bobby.
one.
Okay, you two guys have to turn my ugly face off.
Mike, how you feeling? We in the playoffs, man. First time in 6 years.
It feels great. It feels great.
Hmm. And by the way, shout out to Big Blue in the Bronx Wolves, Timothy. Did I miss anybody else that popped in? I don't think so. Ligma's in here, Arjun, Mike B, Nova. Shout out to everybody. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah. So what I think should happen with Daniel Jones and the resign him, I agree we should bring him back, but I would like a 3-year deal with the option to get out after one. Just in case, like, this season may be a fluke. I don't think it is, but just in case. And then if we have a bad year next year, go get your quarterback.
So, has there ever been a contract like that where it's like option to get out after 1 year with a 3-year deal? You know, I've obviously we heard of the get out after 2 and stuff. Has that been
Yeah,
done before?
I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm sure, like, if they manage the money right, like if Joe Shane manages the money right, I'm sure, like, with the option to get out after one, could make that possible.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean,
And what do you think we like money wise? It is per year.
probably like 3 years, 80, somewhere between the
Oh, yo,
ballpark.
shout out to Diggy in the chat. I didn't even peep. What up, Diggy? How you doing? 3 years. I'm
Somewhere,
sorry. Would you say 90 something?
nah, like in anywhere in the ballpark of 78 to 85
What does that
mil.
average out to? Let me see. What is 85 divided by 3? That's around 20. That might be. I feel like he's gonna get somewhere around 30. And I don't know why. I just feel like somewhere around 30. I feel like it's
Mm-hmm.
between 30 and 35. I don't think they should go above 35, which is I want to say around where the franchise tag is because DJ is a good quarterback, but I don't think he's worth more than $35 million a year. And
Mm-hmm.
if somebody disagrees with me, they'll come on and say it. The link is right there in the chat. Just come on and say it. But at the same time, I don't think he will get below 30, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like I say, Diggy
Yeah,
put in 3 years, 90 million there. I feel like that's something realistic. I feel like that is around what he can get.
yeah. uh, but yeah, if it feels great to be in the playoffs.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. Go ahead.
So, I mean, the obvious matchup I would want is Minnesota, but I mean, yeah, it would be tough to face the 49ers because I feel like that match that we match up bad against them.
Like
But
somebody put in the chat, the only way we face the 49ers is if they lose to the Cardinals, right? And what up,
yeah,
Daniel? I don't think that's really happening.
yeah,
So I feel like you never say always, never be,
hmm
absolute in the NFL, but I'm almost sure that we're matched up against the Vikings.
and isn't it ironic that the NFL decides to put both the Giants and Eagles game on at like 4:25? I want to say,
Yeah, it's at 425.
yeah, and one's on CBS, the other's on Fox.
What other game are you talking about?
I mean, yeah, the Washington and Dallas game.
Oh, got you. Well, yeah, the only threat the Eagles have is like if we beat them and then
Yeah,
Dallas had legit has a shot at number one in NFC, but they just take the the division. But that really comes down to do you think we're gonna play any starters? We're kind of in an ironic
I
situation where it's like the higher seeded team usually rests, but it's looking like it
yeah,
might be the opposite.
I think we should. Now, I'm not. I'm I'm like 95% sure he'll play the starters. Not saying necessarily that the starters will finish. I think like you play the starters like a half, maybe go into the third quarter.
So like a preseason thing.
Yeah, because we need to uh continue with the chemistry of Daniel Jones and the receivers.
Hmm.
And I just think that we're new to the playoffs.
Hmm.
I don't think there's any well Yeah, I can't really think of anyone on the team that has playoff experience except uh, if I could be wrong. I don't think Shepard was part of the.
He was. It was his rookie year.
Okay, okay. So I mean, yeah, I think Shepard might be the only
And
one.
and Collins.
Yeah, yeah. I forgot about Collins.
Hmm.
Yeah. But
So let's like, what do you think? What do you think is gonna happen though? Let's get down to the bottom of it. Because it also, do you think Philadelphia resting their stars has any effect on Dable's decision to rest or play our starters, or do you think he's gonna be completely independent of that?
see, I don't think it will matter if what Philly decides to do. In the long run, they was gonna do what he feels best for the team.
That was his exact answer. He's gonna do what's best for the team.
Yeah,
So then
yeah.
let's skip this game for a second and let's look to the playoffs. And how do you like that matchup against the Vikings?
I I like it. Like we competed with them, and I mean the Vikings. Besides, like Jefferson, Cook, and Hawkinson, I mean, I guess you could say Cousins aren't really all that good. I mean, they were in a bunch of one score games, and to continue that fate into next year is highly unlikely. So, like, going into like next year, that could fail for them big time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I think we match up kind of good versus Minnesota, and it showed when we played them. And plus, we'll have a Dory back that will cover Jefferson. I'm not saying like Dory's gonna shut
Well, it
him
helps.
down.
It helps.
Yeah.
And
Ugh.
then the final thing I'll ask you, Mike, before I have to get on to the callers, because I'm
Mhm.
not surprised we in the playoffs got a little bit of a line tonight. Is not are you happy that we made the playoffs? Obviously, you're happy that we made the playoffs, but
Yeah.
how do you think this benefits the team, man, moving forward? This team that a lot of people really thought was going to kind of cap out at around 6 wins before the season began.
Mhm.
New head coach, new regime, new everything, man. To be in the playoffs, how do you think this helps this team?
I think this helps this team majorly to get the experience of like playing in the playoffs is big because as you kind of saw last year with Philadelphia, they made the postseason when nobody even like predicted them to. And yeah,
Hmm.
they were a first round exit, but I mean, look how they kind of grew from that. I
Yeah.
mean, of course, you add AJ Brown, which was a big help for Hurts. But I mean, even like Devontae Smith, who actually could be the leader in receptions for them this year,
Hmm.
and like I think it will help this team grow in the long run.
Yeah.
Now, whether we take step back next year, it's possible. I mean, because we have to face the NFC West next year and the AFC East. But I mean, like Taylor said the other night on the stream, I don't think it will be that much of a drop off because Dable is a good coach, and a good coach finds ways to get wins.
Mhm. Well, Mike, thank you for calling in as usual. We in the playoffs for the first time, man.
Yes,
Super Bowl
sir.
agenda is on. I'm just
Yes,
saying the
sir.
Super Bowl agenda is on. Have a good one, Mike.
You too.
Next up, we got the regulars callers coming in. The line is as follows: NYG Empire, Mike Green, and then Nova Nebula. NYG Empire, what's up, man? How you doing? And how you feeling? Is the Super Bowl agenda on for you or no?
Nah. But you can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, cool. Yeah. When it comes to the playoffs, it was really like a good thing that we made it. And never say never about the Super Bowl. I think anything is possible, especially with the NFL, any given Sunday. But at the same time, I feel like if we get dealt the bad hand and face against the 49ers, I think our odds are like shot. If we
Mm-hmm.
face the Vikings, which is looking like it, we have a shot, right? I like the matchup against the Vikings. We shot ourselves in the foot on week 16 against them. We should have beat them, but we just played so many mistakes, and we only lost by 3, and by like a miraculous 61-yard field goal, which Greg Joseph is never doing again, honestly.
Never again.
So I like our chances with the Vikings, but when it comes to whoever we face after that, now it's kind of gets a little bit more tricky. The Cowboys or the Eagles, like we'll see. I think I'll have better judgment once I see what we do against the Eagles next week or this coming week. So I can
I was
say,
gonna say, do you
yeah.
think we're gonna play our starters? Because I feel like it heavily depends on if both teams play their starters for us to get a good measuring stick.
Oh yeah, I think they're definitely going to play the start. I mean, Eagles definitely going to play their starters. They
Yeah,
need
Eagles
to
fighting
because
for that first
number
seed.
one seed. They want the number 1 seed. So in order to retain that, and they feel like they have a good chance of beating us with the starters, I think they are going to start their starters. I think Dable is really competitive. I mean, this is the same guy who put Dory Jackson on the kick return for the punt return. You talk
I
about
wouldn't say that was competitive. I said that was stupid.
that was,
I
but I'm
mean,
saying like he's the type to be like, man, I don't care. Like, he's like risky like that. It was a stupid decision. I agree with you with that. But I'm saying
yeah.
this same guy, you think he's not going to start his starters? That's the same guy.
I really don't know because here's the thing, and I like Dable for this.
Yeah,
He doesn't let us or he doesn't let the media ever know what his next move is. We never know what he's gonna do, and I like that. I don't want to know. I don't. If we don't know and the media don't know, maybe there's a chance that the opposition doesn't know, right? So I like that about him. But he legitimately, the way he spoke about it, they asked him and they brought up the 2007 facing the Patriots in week 17, and he was like, "Well, 2007 is a different year. Obviously, you're talking about a completely different situation, a team that's trying to go 16-0." And he was like, "We're not that. It's a different time right now. I'm gonna do what's best for this team." I'm just like, I don't know, man. I would, and I might be in the minority when I say that I want the Giants to play all their starters, because if we're gonna be honest, the smarter decision to do is we clinched. We can't move up or down. The smarter decision to do would be don't risk injury, let the guys rest. But I want to play our starters because I want to see if we're gonna get blown out by Philadelphia again or if we can beat them. That's what I want to see because that I feel like that's gonna tell me how far this team can go in the postseason.
yeah, I agree. I feel like this. Either we do or we don't. I'm cool with it, right? At the same time, it was like we still gonna make the playoffs either way, and I just think I'm not looking towards winning a Super Bowl, even though I would like for that to happen. I would like to see this as a stepping stone for us and a learning experience for us for our future players and all our young players, so they can have this experience and they pertain it for the next season or whenever we go back to the dance. So I think it's just a good learning experience, and honestly, it's one of the more exciting things that happened to the Giants organization for the Giants team for
One
years.
of the more. It's
Yeah,
got to be the
so
most.
you comparing last year to this year, it's like what really nailed the head for me, man. Like been a Giants fan for a long time, but I can't tell you the time that was the most disappointing was last year with the whole last game against forgot, but the infamous second down, third down QB sneak.
I was at that game.
You was? Oh, I feel bad for you,
I
bro.
had good seats for that game.
Bro.
So me and my friends learned something. Whenever I'm at a game and I sit in the 100 section at MetLife Stadium, we lose. Whenever I sit anywhere else, we win. So I'm never sitting in the 100s of MetLife Stadium again. So yeah, just putting that out there. Whenever I sit in the 200s and even the bleeders, bro, the 300s, we win.
Yeah,
We win convincingly when I sit there. So I'm never sitting. I can't go to MetLife and get a good seat, man. It's just not happening.
yeah. Whenever I went to MetLife, I only went to like a couple games. Always like nosebleeds. I went to that Saints game when David Wilson got that 2 touchdown game. He had
Oh,
the
that was a while ago.
and he had the running touchdown. I went when it was like when Washington had Dominic McNabb. It was a long time ago. I was like 12. That I went to that game. Yeah, only went to a handful of games, not really a lot, but always be in the nosebleeds. I don't have bread like that. But
Mhm.
I was thinking about going to the Coast game, but I was like, bro, I was like, I don't know, like,
Yeah,
I
we
know
got a couple people in the chat that went to the Colts game. I know they had a good time. Not that I hope.
that was a good matchup. We was so close. Me and my boys was so close to going to that Detroit game, the Lions game. Oh my god, I probably would have lost it, bro, if we win.
I was there. That was the other game where I sat in the 100s. That's how I knew I'm never sitting in the 100s again.
Yeah, that game. I was like, man, I was like, come on, we needed to win this game. But now in hindsight, it's like the Lions are actually really good, and they were that was the beginning of the hot streak. So
Hold up, we got a super chat real quick. Shout out to Diggy for the $5 super chat. I appreciate it, man. By the way, Diggy will be one of two guests on Young Guns tomorrow. I don't have call on. That's what this show is for, the callers, but we do have guests on Young Guns. Had to get Diggy on because we made the playoffs, and in all the time I've known Diggy, the Giants have never been in the playoffs. So he says we got a Zenkai boost after got blown out by Philly. We've been a different team since then. I definitely want to see the starters. Those of you that don't know, Zenkai boost, Dragon Ball. You know what I'm saying? I know what he means, and this is also why I want to see the stars. It's crazy because it's only been a couple weeks, but the offense looks completely different to me, and the vibe around the team is completely different. I just want to see if we are good. You know what I'm saying?
or
That's all I
definitely,
want to see. Or not good. If we are great, we are a good team. I want to see if we are great.
yeah. With that's like, um, that would be amazing. We were great, and plus we gotta think about when's the Dory Jackson coming back?
He hasn't been ruled out for this game, so there's like actually a slight chance that he's there for this game. I think he's gonna be back for the playoffs. I think it's like he's good for the playoffs.
Okay, yeah. Like I said, this be a great experience for us, and also I will have more of a glimpse of what we have in store with this game. If we start the starters against the Eagles, if we beat the Eagles, then I'll be like, okay, like I know the Eagles had the easiest schedule in football. They're worse than the record. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna keep it a spade. They're worse than the record. They had the easiest schedule in football, in my opinion. So the fact that they almost lost to the Colts, the fact that they almost the fact that they lost against the Cowboys, I don't want to hear, oh, Gardner Minshew, he threw for 3 touchdowns that game. I don't want to hear. He played well that game, even though he threw for 2 interceptions. Jalen Hurts threw 2 interceptions against the Chicago Bears, one of the worst defenses in the league, right? Threw 2 interceptions, I believe, against the Colts, right? So it cancels out. So I'm looking at this, and I know we got blown up by the Eagles the last time, but I feel like we're on a hot streak, and I feel like we know our identity in a way, and I feel
Mhm.
like we could go on full steam ahead. You know, pound the
So
rock.
I'm confused. You're saying this. Oh, I'm hearing my voice back. There's an echo now. Did you unplug something?
No,
Go. Okay, it's gone now. I heard it for a hot second though. I was going to say. So you're saying this, but you're saying the Super Bowl agenda is not on. I'm confused.
I
The
don't
Super
think
Bowl agenda sounds like it's on to me.
just beating the Eagles is not a Super Bowl agenda. I feel like the 49ers are a way better team than them. I think the Cowboys are a better team in a way, right? In my opinion, I think they have a better um if they have a better running backs, they have Pollard and they have Zeke. If we go against them, I think it's kind of shut out for us because our run defense is really bad, right? Even though we're not counting the Colts game because they have the backups running backs in. We talk about that one. Cook he ate against us. They just abandoned the running game, which I don't know why. But our running game's not that great. Can we stop the run against the Cowboys? I don't know.
Mhm.
Can we stop Jalen Hurts on the run? I don't know. Right? Can we, if we go against the 49ers, if it stacks up that way, can we stop Christian McCaffrey on the 49ers? I know on the Panthers, it was a different situation.
Mhm.
Christian McCaffrey's looking like the best he's ever played, right? On the 49ers as of right now. They know how to use him in the passing game. They know how to use him in the running game. He has better blockers. He have a 1-2 punch with him and Mason. It's different, right? But like I said, there's always a chance that we can make the Super Bowl. Any game
Yeah.
is. I'm never counting that out.
So, I'm gonna just say this.
Yeah,
It's agenda pushing time. All right. Even if I don't fully believe in the New York Giants, I'm gonna act like I fully believe in the New York Giants because we in the playoffs. I'm
yeah,
saying that's what I mean by agenda pushing time. That's what I'm saying. Where it's like the Super Bowl agenda is on because it's on till it ain't on, man. That's what I'm saying. Like we need to enter the playoffs with this type of energy, man. That's what I'm saying. Jeez, that's just me though. That's just me. I'm not blaming you for that. And I see the chat. Y'all better keep that same energy tomorrow. That's all I'm saying, chat.
well, what they saying?
But now they're making fun of me and Kid Blue. They're saying it shouldn't even be called the Young Guns anymore. Do you see what they're saying? The how's my 401k guns?
That's crazy.
Yeah. But NYG Empire, let me get your last thought before I pop on Mike Green here, man.
All right, so basically, yeah, like I said, we gotta see what we do when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles this week. See how are we gonna start our starters or not. If we are, then I'm cool. If we're not, we're cool. You know. But at the same time, when it comes to agenda, I'll be on that train to be like, okay, we going
Why
we have
not? It doesn't hurt nobody.
exactly, you know what I'm saying? But like it's be like this, it'd be like anything can happen. We have a chance, you know what I'm saying? And it's a great time to be a Giants fan. So let's just enjoy the ride and just, have fun. You know,
Yeah.
that's all it is at the end of the day. And my last final thought is like, I know you guys was talking about Daniel Jones' contract. I said in chat, I was saying like minimum 3 years,
You s-
75 million.
yeah, I was like, that might be a bit low. I don't know. Because that's 25 a year.
Mhm. But like, if anything, don't you think like probably like 3 years 85, 3 years 80? It all
Like
comes
3 years 85, I feel like is more realistic than 375.
okay. Yeah, it all goes down to the guarantee contract. So we can
That's
get
true. That's true too. And then it's like we have no idea if they're gonna do something like Mike suggested, which is like if it's out after 1 or 2 years, or if it's gonna be just for actually 3 years. Like we don't know. I'll
yeah,
say this though, and I said this. I feel like maybe for the past months, so like the past 4 shows, where the way he performs in the playoffs is going to determine so much what kind of contract he gets. Because I feel like he already locked up getting at least another year or two. But if he goes out there and he turns it up a notch and he looks elite, he is going to get like a legitimate extension. That's
yeah,
just my thought, though.
yeah. And sorry, this is my actual last thought. The Do you feel like we have the chance to sign Daniel Jones, Saquon, and Dexter Lawrence all in the same offseason. Because that's the problem.
We have no choice but to.
But like when it comes to salary cap, right? Do you think
We gonna have to, I don't know. We gonna have to figure something out. That's what I'm glad you brought that up, because I've been trying to tell Giants fans that for a while, that people keep saying, "Oh, we have all this cap," but it's like we really don't. We have to sign back. Like the most important players on the team have to be re-signed. Once they're signed back, it's not like we're not gonna be any type of spenders in free agency. We're gonna be taking care of the house in free agency. We're gonna be taking care of our own players. To be honest with you, I don't know if they're gonna have to find some. Maybe they find some way to free up money, but as of right now, after you re-sign the players that need to be re-signed, it's gone. So
yeah, and we're gonna cut Kenny Galladay and all that, so like that free up some space.
And I know we have Dexter Lawrence's 5th-year option. I see Sergeant, shout out to Sergeant, saying that we have him locked in for next year, but you would rather extend him now, before, because the market for every position keeps going up each year. I feel like you'd rather extend them now than wait for the 5th-year option to expire next year and extend them that. But yeah, NYG Empire, though, man, thank you for calling in, man. Have a good one, bro.
Yeah, you too. Appreciate you.
No problem. Mike Green, what's up, man? We're in the playoffs. First things first. That's what we got to address.
Yo, what's good, huh?
What's
How
up,
you
bro? Are
doing,
you
sir?
frozen? I'm good. How are you?
I guess I was. Um, that was just only a guy who said the New York damn Giants will be in the playoffs some point in time in the offseason. There was only a guy this would happen. Oh yeah, that was me. Y'all welcome.
I wonder.
Y'all welcome.
Oh, thank you for educating me, chat. Thank you for correcting me real quick on the thing. Extend them during the season in terms of Dex, and then they saying we could sign 1 or 2 players this offseason, let the money hit the books. Then we have the space starting next year. I appreciate that. Did not know that. Go ahead, though, Mike.
First things first, let me get this out the way. Prayers up for Damar Hamlin. Nobody deserves to go through that. No family deserves to go through that. As a parent who has a son, that's not something that you can prepare for mentally or physically to deal with at the spur of the moment. He's still in critical condition. But just praying that the great man upstairs see favor over his life and get him out of this situation.
Mm-hmm.
I
can't say anything, but I agree. But go ahead, Mike.
But now we got that out the way. We played Philadelphia this week, right?
We do.
They want us to rest our starters. Why?
Oh, they're definitely want us. They definitely want us to do that. They want that number 1 seed.
First of all, you goddamn birds don't earn a goddamn thing. You don't deserve us to rest our starters. You deserve your ass kicked. Because last time I checked, when we needed a favor, I don't know, in January of 2021, you bastards pulled your starters in the 4th quarter. And now, 2 years later, you need a favor. And we just supposed to forget how we was supposed to win the damn division to be in the playoffs. You took that away from us. Not only you took it away, you laughed at us. You told us to win more games. You did all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
As New York Giants Nation, we ain't forgot, Eagle fans. They haven't slipped our mind. So you damn right we playing our starters. You're going to have to earn this number 1 seed.
Bro, that is a motivation that slipped my mind, because for the first time, I can say we're in better times now, so I'm not really thinking about the old bad times. But I really just want to see if we can beat them, because I agree with what Diggy said earlier. Like, I feel like we're we're definitely a healthier team. I feel like we're a better team now than when we played them 2 weeks ago, and I want to see how we're gonna stack up.
When we played them 2 weeks ago, I know it's a division rival. You're not supposed to say this, but it's the truth. We weren't starting their asses 2 weeks ago. Our mind was on Washington.
Nah,
We
I
didn't
don't
give
think
a
so.
damn about the Eagles a few weeks ago. No, the way they play, bro, the Eagles ain't blowing us out in the first quarter like that. You will see Sunday when we play our starters and you see how
That's
competitive
what
this
I'm
game
saying. Like
is.
I wanna see
You will know
how we
then
play
they
them this time because we're a better
really
team now than we
didn't
were
care when
just
we
2 weeks ago. Are you there, Mike?
on top of everybody to my player hat. No, no, beat these
Mike,
flocks.
you cut out for about a minute. You might have to restate what you were saying.
I said everybody want us to play a half or 3 quarters. No, beat their ass. 4 quarters.
Oh, I'm with it. I'm with that.
Carry this
That's what I
momentum
want.
into the playoffs.
That's what I want. I want that a lot. But I do gotta say, I also I respect where other people come from because they're thinking about health, and this is a team that's been so injured. I really want to see how great of a team we are, and I really want to avoid getting swept by the Eagles. Like I want to split with them, but I'm not gonna be mad if Dable makes the decision and says I want to enter the playoff healthy. Like I'm not gonna be mad if he does that.
Okay, okay, cool. I understand that too. But you want to know what? Remember the guy that played his players in week 17 of 2007?
Yeah, I think I already
You
mentioned
know,
Dable's response to that.
yeah, I know. But here's my response. Remember, I was under that guy for a bit. So that mentality and that mindset, it helps, believe it or not,
Oh no,
because
I believe it.
you're keeping you're
Remember, I'm
keeping
not
your
arguing with you.
rhythm.
I'm agreeing with you.
But yeah, play starters. Let's beat these Eagles. Let's go in, like you said, with momentum and a winning streak. And more importantly, let's let the rest of the NFC know you can't fucking overlook the New York football giants. Because even though
Hmm.
we're in the playoffs, the disrespect still never stops. The three best teams in the NFC are the Cowboys, the 49ers, and the Eagles. We don't even get brought up in conversation. We don't get mentioned that a possible team that could upset somebody. None of that. Why? They expected us to be trash. And the fact that
Let
they're
them keep
here,
sleeping.
they're more surprised.
Let them keep
Oh,
sleeping.
you're definitely right, huh? Matter of fact, I want them to get the most comfortable pillow with this sleep. I want you to have the
I'm telling
greatest
you.
rest
Let them keep
because
sleeping,
when we wake your ass
and
up,
while they're sleeping, we'll have the Super Bowl agenda on. That's what I'm saying.
and as far as who we play in the playoffs, I don't give a damn. Everybody's season starts over.
I'll say
Everybody's
this:
0-0. What you do in
Minnesota,
the regular season,
yeah.
Especially Minnesota. You know what? Last time we played them, first of all, we beat ourselves. Second of all, Justin Jefferson got off late. But you want to know what be the difference between this time and last time? Adore Jackson ain't just going to be giving up no big plays like that. And if you got
Also,
any type
I'm
of
a
a good
little bit,
corner as
yeah. I was just gonna say I'm a
Jair
little
Alexander
bit.
just proved,
Oh, there's a delay between us.
go ahead.
I was just gonna say real quick, not just Minnesota. I would be a little confident going up against the 49ers as well because I think we're going to be playing Brock Purdy. And I respect the 49ers defense and they are a scary team. But I think we could play against Brock Purdy. But go ahead, Mike.
We can definitely play against Brock Purdy. You know, they ain't invisible, bro. Like the 49ers are loaded. If you really honestly want the truth, the 49ers are the best team in the NFC. And if the Giants
I'm with that
play them in the
100%.
wild card, if the Giants play them in the first round, and we beat them, what are we supposed to be scared of? Dallas ain't
I'm with
beating
you
us
there.
three times.
If we face the San Fran 49ers in the first round, we beat them. My Super Bowl agenda increases like tenfold.
Okay, because honestly, the rest of the game is 9 times out of 10 division rivals. You know, Dallas ain't beating us three times. And if we take care of Philadelphia this upcoming Sunday, no correction, when we take care of Philadelphia this upcoming Sunday, they're gonna have confidence like we won in this building before. Let's do it again.
But
I said it
before
back when me.
the
Go
delay is
ahead.
killing us. No,
Yeah,
you go
no,
ahead,
go
Mike.
ahead. I said it back when me, you, I think Nate and the entertainer was on this channel when we played Jacksonville. I said we got the opportunity to get number 5. Guess who got that opportunity now, Hub?
Number 5. Who?
Number 5.
Oh, you talking about the 5th Super Bowl? Oh, I got you.
Fucking right.
I was confused. I was confused for a second.
But playoff football is here, which I said it was gonna be here a long, long time ago. But we are. And as far as Daniel Jones is concerned, ladies and gentlemen, get ready. That's your quarterback.
Got you.
Coaches love him. Ownership love him. This is what I know. He's a New York Giant. So get ready to see number 8 on your TV screens in red, white, and blue for a minute. And then on top of that as well, Saquon is coming back too. And they're going to do what they can to get this man some weapons. Because I hate to break this down to y'all, but this ain't the full offense. It's a lot of this offense that ain't been unleashed yet. Because we ain't got the receivers like that. Even though Hodgins and James and Bellinger and them are stepping up, which I'm happy for, but when you get that elite number 1, you're gonna really see this offense take off. And we made it to the playoffs without a legit passing threat on the outside. Imagine what's going to happen when we get one.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you,
Better times
and
are
that's
ahead.
why I'm
Better times
excited
are
for
ahead,
next year
Giants
so
fans.
much, man. Mike, I appreciate the calling in, man, and hopefully next time we call in, we're 10-6-1, and we're looking at Minnesota loaded up. Have a good one, Mike.
For sure. Love y'all. Peace.
Next up, we got Nova. Nova, what's up, man? And shout out to everybody in the chat. Sorry, I haven't really had the chance to address it, but as I'm scrolling up here, it's the old jokes. I'm not even that old, and Super Bowl agendas and stuff. But go ahead, Nova.
Yo, what up, Kush? You can hear me?
It's good. I can hear you.
All right. Well, I mean, obviously, people said it already, but first thoughts and prayers for Damar Hamlin, because that was horrifying, and obviously we're all, pulling for him and hoping he gets better. I don't know if anybody's mentioned it like on the stream or if you've seen it, but they had like an interview with his uncle, and they said that they were, that instead of needing the 100%, the oxygen support right now, they were able to get it down to 50. So, they're starting to, work on being able to get him breathing on his own again. And that people were saying like the plan is to have him, waking up by tomorrow or something. So, and his vitals are still intact. So it's looking like he's going to be able to pull through. So it's encouraging, but, still best of thoughts because that was scary. So,
Of course.
But, yeah, I mean, that was a great win by the Giants. we're in the playoffs, and I'm really, really hoping that we could smoke that purple Vikings pack because obviously we let them get away last time, but obviously before we even get to the Vikings, we still got the Eagles game, and I am honestly hoping. I guess I'm kind of in between with like both perspectives of like people wanting the starters to play or people wanting them to be benched. And I'm kind of like on the thing where like I do want the starters to play, but I am more leaning towards like I don't want it to be the full game. But there's certain starters I don't want to see out there at all. Like
Such as
Leo and Aziz, I need them to sit their ass down on the bench. I don't want to see them on the field at all. I don't. They need to sit down. They've been dinged up to the point that they can't really even finish games like the past month. Like I need to see them sitting on the bench, and I'm really hoping it was trending like Adoree was gonna play against the Colts, but then he ultimately didn't.
and
So
now
I'm
it's like it's questionable for this game. So Dory, I could completely agree. I'm like, just bring him back for the wild card game.
Yeah, if he does play, because I can understand if they want to get him some reps before the playoffs, which I mean I wouldn't say adore. I guess I don't know, knock the rust off. I mean we even saw with McKinney, he allowed like that 50-yard bomb against the Colts, and he was saying that it was just rust. So you never know. But
Yeah,
if Adoree does play, I don't even like nowhere near even 20 snaps. Like get him a couple snaps, let him like make one tackle or so, and then like get him out of there. But other than that. Yeah, like I said, I don't want to see the starters, I guess, play a full game. But I'm kind of with you where it's like I want to see what they can do against the Eagles. And I'm hoping Brian Dable kind of takes that mindset where, like, I want them to come out with, like, a game plan for however long they have the starters in. And I want Daniel Jones just throwing bombs against, like, Bradbury and Slade. Just see, like, just see what we can, like, complete and get away with. Plus, Eagles fans might get rowdy. But I think both those corners, while good, are, like, overrated in their own right, but that's neither here nor there. It's funny because I got a couple. Like I said, I live in Pennsylvania, like right outside of Philadelphia, so the Eagles are the local team. And I got some friends of mine like on Facebook and stuff are Eagle fans, so I'm always seeing like Eagles like beat writers and their team reporters always like posting things, and it's funny like seeing fans like arguing, and they're like, oh well, the reason our corners keep getting beat is because we're playing in zone coverage and they refuse to. But I'm like, my one friend understands it, and I even told them when they signed Bradbury, and this is the reason why I find it funny too when Eagle fans are trying to taunt like Giants fans, like haha, we got Bradbury, you're gonna miss him. It's like Bradbury's a good corner, but he is not a good press man coverage corner. Like Bradbury's always been better like sitting back in zone. He's a finesse style corner, he's like very wiry and lanky, and that's kind of like where he has to play his game. But like if Bradbury plays like a burner receiver and they get like even a single step on him, like he's not catching them. Like that's gonna be a bomb like completed over him. And that's why like I said, I want them to come out and be aggressive and take shots against the corners with the starters in, because I forget where I saw it on Twitter, but there was like clips, and they said that Brian Dable even mentioned it in the press conference after the game, where he was like, oh well, we had opportunities on offense, we just missed it. But they showed a couple times like Hodgins just like had Bradbury beat like deep, like he just hit him with like double moves and he was gone. So I'm hoping they can kind of exploit some of that just to keep building off of the momentum that they've built on the offense over the past few weeks. But then after that, yeah, like I don't want the starters playing this whole game. Like it's not gonna change our seating at all. And like you said earlier, like we know this team just has like the worst luck when it comes to injuries, and we need like all hands on deck, especially because like I said, it looks like we're gonna get Minnesota, and we let that game get away from us. But Minnesota is still a really good team, and it's not going to be easy to beat them in the playoffs. So we're going to need all hands on deck. So I don't want to risk anything. I want to see Kenny Galladay out there.
I think we could all safely say he's gonna finish his Giants career without a touchdown, right? So
Nah, Tyrod Taylor's about to hit him for like 3.
3. If we play all of our starters and Philadelphia play all their starters, legitimately, how do you think we stack up? How do you think we played them?
I don't know. I mean, I think here's the thing, like I was saying it kind of even earlier in the chat, like while yes, like, Philly is kind of spiraling right now, and people have made the argument that they've played like a really weak schedule. all season, but they're still a really good team. I mean, like they have, you know, an answer for everything like on their offense, and it's gonna be hard because you know this team just cannot stop the run at all. And that's one thing I see Eagle fans like clamming about too is that like they don't give Miles Sanders the ball enough. So I don't know. I think the Giants can definitely give them a much more competitive game, but I just don't think that they are on their level like talent wise yet. And there's still like a ton of mismatches like Devontae Smith in the slot against Darnay Holmes. Like he's just gonna beat him all day long because Darnay Holmes just cannot cover. He just cannot keep up. So it's things like that, but I do think that they would give him a better effort. And speaking like of the run defense too, I'm really interested what they do with Gerard Davis. I know that's like a really like I guess low key signing that maybe not too many people are put on, but you
I
know
was
like
gonna say, do you think he sees any type of playing time, or do you think he was just a signing really just for break glass in case of emergency?
this is a game where I would like to see him get full reps because this is the perfect game to do it. This is like we have nothing to lose. You might as well like evaluate him and see what we can get out of him because like Jalen Smith is cool and you know I do like him for certain things, but it's like oh man like and I
Why you gotta throw Jalen Smith under the bus? Why not throw Micah McFadden under the bus? Like
both of them, but I give Micah McFadden more leeway because he is a rookie.
for
Like
what? Alright, I guess.
but there's some things that do you watch Talking Giants at all? Like when
Yeah.
Bobby Skinner does the so like he's pointed out plenty times where like even like just instincts like Micah McFadden just shows like more wherewithal than Jalen Smith at times, and it's just like oh man, how did Jalen Smith was like good at one point, like he was a Pro Bowler with the Cowboys,
Bro,
but
this man was almost an all pro at one point.
yeah,
I
and
mean,
it's
I
just
don't, I don't want
like
to rag on Jalen Smith because I do like him,
I
and when
do
we signed him
too.
initially this year, he was really good for the first couple of games.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's
he
something that's not talked
was
about a lot.
awesome.
He was almost like you could say elite. I put him at a great level. He got an amazing contract, and I don't know what happened. Like he
Yeah,
just wasn't
he's
it.
just fallen off. I'm glad though that Landon Collins, you know, him being elevated to the active roster, and that he looks hungry and he's making plays and stuff. Because I really think that he's been a big help with the linebacking core too, and just giving Wink, you know, like more initiative to do what he wanted to do like earlier in the season, just having like more defensive backs on the field. So I feel like the defense plays really well like in those schemes because you know, having Landon Collins and like Tony Jefferson, like they can do pretty much anything that you would ask of a linebacker. They're both like big hitters and stuff, but then they have, you know, the experience of like covering the back end and stuff like that. But it's just we just got to improve like on I feel like really like this defense. That's the thing too, you know, it's funny cuz you know, you're bringing up like what are the Giants going to do like, you know, signings and moves that they're looking to make in the offseason for next season. And so many people feel like we have a bunch of holes. I feel like this defense really doesn't have that many holes, as crazy as it sounds. I think we're just like a legitimate like
I
linebacker
think
away from
we
being a
need.
really good defense.
I think we need two linebackers. Uh, One that's very good and one that can play at an average level.
Mm-hmm.
And we need. I don't know if I necessarily disagree with you, but I think we need two linebackers and two corners.
Two
'Cause,
corners?
yeah, I mean, Adori's number one, but I'm also thinking about the future. Like, how long more is Adori going to be here?
Yeah,
So
that is true. I
I would
don't know.
want two
Maybe
corners. And
maybe
how
one
long
of
more is
the.
Fabian Moreau going to be here? Like, you know?
I wonder if they even bring Fabian back next season. I mean, I guess it would make sense because you can get him for cheap, but I don't know. I would. That is still something I would like them to explore the market too, because I guess that we got to see what they do in the draft as well. Definitely, people have said that too, that they should prioritize like getting a corner at some point in the draft. Um, you know, maybe one of the young corners can develop. Like I still, you know, have hopes for Flout, but obviously right now he's still having like I think Flott just, you know, he's very young. He's got a lot of development to do, even like just physically and stuff like that. But I don't know, maybe he becomes the slot corner over time. He did play slot in college, so
Mm-hmm.
we'll see. But yeah, in terms of like people like you know saying like the defense needs like a lot of reworking, like it's really not that far away. I feel like you know just a
I'm gonna still say what I said. I'm not sure if I said it already during the stream, but what I've said before, which is that in terms of being a perennial playoff team and year in year out a Super Bowl contender. I think we're about 2 seasons or 2 off seasons away.
Yeah, definitely.
What I'll say. So it's not, and I would love to be right because if that's the case, it means that we didn't enter another 5-year rebuild.
Yeah,
It means that it was 3 years essentially,
yeah,
depending on when you want to start counting. So yeah.
yeah.
Now let's talk contracts with DJ and Saquon. What do you think?
Oh yeah. What do you want to talk like? What I think they should be given, or
What you think they're gonna be given, not should be given?
I mean, I don't know. It's really hard to tell. I honestly think I know most people would probably disagree with it, but I would say don't be surprised to see Saquon being given like the more like strong contract, I guess you could say, like the higher priced one or like the longer one, even though that's what most people would
I
probably
can't remember
disagree
where
with.
I saw this, but it was on Twitter where around the same time the reports about the Giants giving them multi-year extensions came out. They said Saquon's contract was closer to McCaffrey's, and I
Yeah,
knew that was gonna tick a good amount of people off because a lot of people think that's too much,
yeah.
which it technically isn't because he's like the same level as McCaffrey. But I get why people say
Exactly,
it's too
yeah.
much. You know what I mean? Like I get it.
Here's the thing that drives me crazy about like Giants fans. It's just they seem to not like understand like you have to spend money to have really good players. Like it's it just is what it is. Like I'm sorry, and I think they're so hyper fixated like on they're not seeing like the whole process where it's like, okay, yeah, giving Saquon the contract, maybe it doesn't give us as much leeway as they would like to have for next off season, but we're still looking years and years ahead. Like they let Brian Dable and Joe Shane do their full rebuild. Like give them a couple years. Like I don't, I like I've said it even on the last podcast where it's like the hyperfixation and like just the obsession of the idea of just wanting Saquon out of here, just like it just annoys me. It's like why do you guys want him gone so bad? And then they always bring up the argument like, oh, name me a running back making $5 an hour who's won a Super Bowl, and like not bringing up any of the nuances of why that does or doesn't happen. It's like Saquon does so much for this team. He's a great leader in the locker room. Like
I was gonna say there's a good amount of the Giants fans that bring up the talking point that if DJ is going to imagine what that does to the locker room. Imagine if what Saquon does to the
yeah,
locker room. He is just as big of a leader as Daniel Jones is, in my opinion, in that locker room.
yeah, and then people talking about, oh, well, the offense would be so much better if we just had this and that. I'm like, you think the offense is going to be better next season if Saquon isn't here? Like, again, we're not gonna. You were talking about it earlier. We're not going out in the free agency market and picking up this big baller receiver. Like, that's not gonna happen. So the receiving core, while it probably will be higher quality and more improved next season, it's still not going to be like we just got all these world beaters out there running routes and stuff. Like we're still going to be working with kind of a similar range of quality of the core that they have now, and so they're going to need somebody like Saquon to alleviate some of that pressure, so they're not getting doubled and triple covered all the time. And it's just like I don't know, man. Like I think so much of like fans looking at the logistics of cap space and contracts of being reasons why teams stay stuck and don't succeed. It's just I think it's like overblown, and when it's looked at, there's not enough nuance to it. I don't think keeping Saquon Barkley is a bad idea at all, and I really do want him to be a Giant for his whole career, like whatever that takes. Like I'm never gonna be mad or like disagree with them giving Saquon Barkley a contract, no matter how big it is or the years. I mean, there's a limit, but I don't see them doing something extremely, just egregious. Joe Shane is smart. He's not gonna. He knows what he's doing. Like I think Joe Shane and Brian Dable at this point should have, earned the trust and respect of all of the Giants fans. Even though
Thank
it's
you.
their first
Wasn't
year.
it last week, Nova, that I said I'll trust whatever they do, but I believe we
Yeah.
could win with Daniel Jones if we stick with him or without him. And it looks
Yeah.
like they're sticking with him. So the most important thing they gotta do is go all in and please get a legitimate number 1 wide receiver.
Yeah, which they can draft, and it doesn't only have to be, a first round draft pick either. Like there's talented receivers every year that come out of like mid rounds or even sometimes late rounds in the draft. So it's not like we got to go out and spend all this money for like a huge big name receiver. And again, like with Daniel Jones, I trust that he has the capability of building chemistry with any type of receiver. And I feel like, you just get him some more better talent. It would do wonders for him. And that's why, again, like you just said, like I'm fine with Jones coming back. And this is honestly, even for people who hate Daniel Jones and just like, hammer for like, oh no, we need to move on for him. This is honestly the best thing for the team. And I feel like that's what a lot of Giants fans were saying, coming into the season, is that we're hoping that Daniel Jones pans out this year, because then we don't have to focus on drafting a quarterback, and then we can address other positions of need. And then you know, I get it. Like it happens sometimes. You draft a quarterback, and they bring like a whole new element to the team and the offense right away. But like it's still, I would say, it doesn't happen, as frequently as some people, would think it does. So it's not like bringing a new rookie quarterback in here would be like some magic wand that magically fixes everything. So having Jones, playing as efficient as he has for like I would say like the past month, and starting to excel in the offense, especially when you look at the personnel that he has to work with. You'd imagine with him finally being able to have a system that he can learn for more than just 1 year, and actually getting him legitimate pieces and weapons around him, you would think that it would bode well for him, and he'd be even better in the second season. So I think, I completely agree with it, bringing Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley back for multiple years. Like that's what I've wanted. And I feel like it's honestly best for the team. Fans can cry about it, but I feel like it's gonna pan out. And then, when it works again next season, I just wonder what they're all gonna say, because I have complete faith in it.
Gotcha. Anything else, Nova? Or is that it? No anything else? No Super Bowl agenda from you?
Listen, I'm never gonna start preaching, Super Bowl agendas and whatnot. I feel like this team is still just too far away. But I will say this: if they do end up playing the Vikings in the first round, which it looks like is gonna be, if the playoff seedings remain the way they are right now currently, and let's say the the Giants play the Vikings, they beat the Vikings the first round. If See, that's the thing, there's so many ifs. If the Packers can somehow take out the second seed, right? That they would, if the Packers get in and they take out the second seed that they play, and then the Packers go on to play the Eagles, and let's say the Buccaneers beat the Cowboys, like if the seeding stood the way they are right now, and the Giants played the Buccaneers the second round, then I don't know. Maybe maybe I would start considering. Because I think the Giants, with their pass rush, like going after Tom Brady, the Buccaneers would still be a hard battle, because they have a great receiving core, and I feel like you never know what Tom Brady's gonna do in the playoffs, even though he's been having a pretty bad season.
If we
He's still
somehow
shown.
face the Buccaneers, I just want to let you know we're sending that old man into retirement home, bro.
And that would be like, and that's why I would believe, because it's like, of course it's fitting. Like we'd be the ones to end Tom Brady like once again, and then that's where I would be like, okay, this team just has like the magic about them. But that's a lot of ifs. You know what I mean? That would, like I said, the playoff seedings would have to remain how they are now, and this is all predicated on Green Bay being able to beat Detroit on Sunday and get in, and then they would have to, like I said, they would have to somehow take out the second seed, whoever that would. It would be San Francisco in this case, which Aaron Rodgers is like, what, 0-4 against the 49ers in the playoffs. So it would take a lot of miracles. But if it happened that way, then maybe. Just maybe.
So you don't think that if we face the 49ers with Brock Purdy that we can't beat them?
No. Because they're just going to run the ball all over us. Bro, like, Shanahan is too smart. And, like, they just have too much firepower, bro. They have too much firepower. The 49ers are like the last team I want to play. Like, I don't want the smoke with them. I mean, if it comes down to it, you never know. Like, maybe Wink, can dial up some good blitzes and confuse Purdy here and there. But then again, we don't know, because they did say that Garoppolo should be good to go. in the playoffs. The only thing is, I don't know if they're gonna want to move on from Purdy at this point, just because he's playing well enough, and it's like you don't want to kill his momentum and throw off the chemistry that he has going with the team right now. But nah, like because I just Purdy doesn't even have to do much now, and he wouldn't have to do much against the Giants. They just gonna run the ball down their throats, and that's gonna be that.
But yeah. All right then, man. Valid points that you bring up. You already know, man. If y'all saw the video I put out yesterday, the Super Bowl agenda is on. I'm pushing it because somebody got to push it, and I honestly don't think it's too far off. Like, listen, if we somehow end up in the divisional round, it's gonna get crazy, bro.
I was gonna say, can we just win one playoff game first?
If we end up in the divisional round, it's gonna get crazy. That's all I'm gonna say. Because we either beat the Vikings or San Fran to get into the divisional round. So we'll see. That's all I'm gonna say, man.
We will see.
Have a good one, Nova. Thank you for calling in,
You
man.
too, man. Take care.
And to end off the show, guys, I'm just gonna go through a couple of these comments I missed throughout, and feel free to post back any comments that I didn't get a chance to read right now. Griminator says, with his injury history, I'd be willing to give Saquon a CMC deal average-wise, but no guaranteed money and a way out after every year. Christian McCaffrey has actually, throughout his career, has more injuries than Saquon Barkley. He's missed more games due to injury than Saquon Barkley. So, like, for that reason, I would be comfortable with giving him a similar contract to CMC, because he's been healthier in terms of games played and games missed due to injury, I'm pretty sure. NYG Fan for Life says, we already might have one. Remember Darian Beavers? I'll never forget Darian Beavers, my favorite linebacker that we drafted this year, and I had high hopes for him. I liked almost everybody that came out of that Cincinnati Bearcats team in this year's draft. Got a lot of hope for Darian Beavers. We'll see how he fares next year. Let's say, can completely agree with that. Jones was never the problem with this team. Can definitely agree. Coaching, line, receivers. Oh man, let's go up. Let's scroll up here. 49ers would, this is just what Nova said. 49ers would run all over the defense. It will be painful to watch. I don't know about run all over, because Dexter Lawrence ain't never played playoff football, so he might turn it up a notch. That's all I'm going to say. Ligma says, if we play the Vikings, I'm literally snoring on them. Now, I wouldn't say sleep on them or snore on them, is Ligma saying. But I'm not too worried about them, all right? We already faced them once. I think we knew what's going on with them. Let's see here. Keep going up. In regards to the Eagles, I hope so. Arjun says Joe Shane is going to re-sign the big players. Definitely hope so. Well, Shep, I'm not sure about. Actually, Shep and Slayton, I'm only re-signing Slayton if it's like a really cheap deal, y'all. I'm going to be so honest. I want to draft a number one wide receiver. We'll draft a real number one wide receiver. Isaiah Hodgins. Richie James has done enough. Darius Slayton on a cheap deal, or draft another receiver. I don't know. I'm just saying. Shep says he wants to be back, but I think he should be back as a coach. It is what it is. It is what it is. I like pineapple and chicken, actually. Chicken and pineapple pizza is pretty good. Nothing's been confirmed at all, Bokar. We're all just speculating. Nothing's been confirmed. I don't even think we're even going to find out if we're resting our starters or not until like Thursday or Friday or whenever the last day is that you could turn in the injury report and stuff like that. I'd say by Thursday we'd know, though. But guys, that'll be it for tonight. Good stream. We're in the playoffs. Nothing but smooth sailing from here until the end of Week 18. And then it's a brand new postseason. First time in 6 years. We'll see how the Giants do. Hopefully the Super Bowl agenda is on. That's it for tonight, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I've never heard of Meat Lovers Pizza, so there's that. And I'm out. Peace.